how lucky do you feel?
We all have a schedule to maintain. If the people supporting us pull out, we all go hungry.
I feel that we've got to the bottom of this case. The man that tried to knife me, his fingerprints were on the knife. And 3 months ago when your business partner was killed, well, even though that this man wiped the knife of the blood, it matches up to the blood of your business partner. I feel we got to the bottom of this case. I feel that we've got closure.
Sure, my heart bleeds for all those people that have passed on. But in a business, you don't quit when things don't go the way you want them to.
Look, I got a flight to catch. Look, I wish you the very best.
International Airlines Flight 343 to Las Vegas. Flight 307, not
Get in there. Looking for trouble, man?
I've been cleared of that airport shooting. I'll be taking a flight to North Carolina tomorrow. I realize you like your little sexual fantasies. But while I'm gone, you need to be more precautious. You need to stay away from that window.
Mr. Williams, pleased to meet you, sir. Please have a seat.
Well, yes, I got your letter.
Yes, sir.
What can I help you with?
Whew. Well, I am soon to be remarried, okay? My first wife died. There is now suspicion, of all things, of me having murdered her. All right? It's not the case. It didn't happen. All right? My fiancée is aware of this suspicion now. I've called you, sir, to help clear my name. I've read about your work, sir, in the papers, okay, on those other 2 cases. All right? Outstanding job. I said, if anybody can help me, it is you, sir. That, sir, is why you're here today.
Are you sure that I can help?
You are the man, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I'll do what I can.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Look, when can we get together?
I'm on your schedule, sir. Please call me. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you.
You know, Mr. Meadows, what I need to help me solve this case is, you know, your wife. You know, when you married her, could you tell me the difference in her personality?
Sweetest thing ever, man. I tell you what, from our dating time to after we got married, of course, business picked up for me. I was away from home a little bit more often, and she was spending more money. So I had to work longer hours and be away a little bit more. But other than that, when I'd come home, she was here for me, and I was here for her. You know, like I said, she started spending more money. I was making more money, had to make more money, and was gone more often. So we didn't see as much of each other as I would have liked to. Right.
What I want to know is, in other words, the relationship up until her death was as good as it was when we first got married.
Yes, it was. Just wasn't as much time together.
Well, business,
Yeah, right.
You know, it's business. And,
Right.
well, that's all I need to know for now. Thank you very much, Mr. Meadows.
Yes, sir, Inspector. Thank you.
Mr. Meadows,
Yes, sir.
you know, this reminds me of a cabin where I met my wife. You know, you got a nice little place here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had it built about 10 years ago.
Well, you know, just like I served in the military for 30 years. And then, I met this woman of my dreams. I thought it was a little late for marriage and whatever. And we really had a good relationship, some of the happiest years of my life. And then she got sick with a terminal illness, and then she died.
Sorry to hear that.
And, well, I've met this young woman now, but she's a real shy and bashful person. Shy and bashful. But she likes to live in a make-believe world. She likes to pretend she's a stripper. And I've told her to stay away, out on the straight side. She's a shy and bashful person, but she likes to get in front of the window. What I'm saying is, what happened to your wife, I'm afraid might happen to her. I'm just expect to get a phone call any time. You know, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, put your hands up. Girl,
Sheriff Winslow, do you think law enforcement is improving?
Well, I think the law enforcement is going to get better around, especially this cold case thing that we're digging up. That should help the law enforcement really good. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to dig up these cold case files and bring them to justice. I know a lot of them go on 10, 15, 20 years, and you wind up.
Well, I hope law enforcement has improved, because you don't know what it's like to have to wait 10, 15 years in order to get your name cleared. And I just want my wife's killer caught.
Nothing ever comes of any of them. They just sort of get forgot about. But I think more and more of them's coming up in there. There's a challenge now, and law enforcement is really eager and willing to do something about it. And you got better ways of digging. You got better ways of proving stuff.
Well, I'm just hoping that law enforcement has improved since then. And I just want to get to the bottom of this, because you don't know what it's like to be suspected of your wife's murder, and I don't want to have to wait 10, 15 years in order to have my name cleared of this. I've hired a private investigator to look into this case as well, and but if your department comes up with any new information, please keep me informed.
Well, what have you got for me today? Mr. Meadows, I'm here for you. Now, I've asked you question after question about your wife, but I've got to have everything in detail, over and over. When I question these people in the places that you've been. Mr. Meadows, I know it's in the report, but can you tell me? I mean, I've got to hear from you. How was your wife dressed the last time that you seen her?
Well, that's easy. We'd gone out to a little small cafe. She was dressed quite elegantly. She had on a nice long black evening gown, her fur coat, her diamond earrings. She had her hair up in a bun, and she was wearing her black high heel shoes.
I know it's been some time, but I need to know, now, are you sure that's the way she was dressed?
Yes, sir, Mr. Williams. That's exactly how she was dressed. Yes.
I'm questioning people, you know, at the cafe, and, you know, you hear loose talk at the bars, and, you know, I'll do, you know, what I can. And
all right.
It just takes time. Most time people just give themselves away. You like when one story don't match up with the other. I mean, a lot of times people just give themselves away. And when somebody tells me one story in 1 week and another one next, you know, they could be suspects. So, you know, things are looking good on your behalf.
I appreciate hearing that, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, look,
yes, sir.
I know you're busy, so I know you got to earn a living.
Yes, sir.
As I'll be trying to earn mine.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, see you next time. Thank you.
I missed you at that church homecoming. You must have another social activity. Well, how are you?
I'm doing all right today.
I see you got that dog on a short chain today.
Yeah, he's been kind of bothering people today. Had to put him on a little bit shorter chain.
You got some.
Yeah, I kind of figured that you had a lot of stuff to talk to me about.
I've been over in Thailand training in self-defense. They got some good instructors over there. I need your help.
That's good. That's good. I think the old dog kind of misses him.
Yeah, I think so. So, I don't know what. Help me work the streets. Help me get the information I need.
You know, these foreigners come over here and get their citizenship, and they start these gangs, and especially the Chinese, they got some rough ones because they do this karate stuff, and it looks important to these people, and they get into the gangs with them because they like that karate look, and they feel like, you know, if they can learn that, they'll be the greatest. So that entices them to join that karate stuff. And they come in and start these little groups, and that's not really good.
And I think that has a big impression on the younger people too.
Oh yeah, that's what the younger people like, that karate stuff.
I know we got gangs here, but still, that type of culture, it does have a lot of influence on younger people.
Yeah, they like that karate stuff. That's what draws them in.
And just like I'm saying, I ran into some of it, and I ended up in jail on account.
Yeah.
Well, how have you been along today?
Oh, doing fine, Inspector Williams. How about yourself?
Okay.
Okay, good deal. How's the case coming?
Well, it's coming along.
All right.
I mean, what I'm saying, have you and your wife to be? I heard y'all went out to the restaurant the other day.
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
What I'm saying, what type of clothes was she wearing?
Does it really matter what type of...
It's very necessary that I have information on your girlfriend. It's very necessary that I have the information on your girlfriend. I mean, what I'm saying is that if these people are out of focus in their description of what they are telling me about her appearance, as well as your wife's, they might not be telling the truth. That's why I want to go over and over this situation. Tell me, Mr. Meadows, what type of clothes was your wife to be wearing when she went out for breakfast that morning?
I believe she was wearing blue jeans, a light blue t-shirt. Yeah.
And what type of shoes was she wearing?
What type of shoes doesn't matter? What type of shoes doesn't matter?
Why would that matter? What type of shoes she's wearing? Shoes, tennis shoes, I guess. I don't know.
And what type of socks are with the tennis shoes? Can you tell me that, Mr. Meadows?
What type of socks? I couldn't tell you the socks. No. You know, these Chinese people, they got their own culture, and they come over here and set these neighborhoods up with gang members, and I'm just not going to have that kind of thing. They form these gangs and cause people trouble all the time, and I got to get rid of that. But they come over here and form these things, and they're rough. They're rough guys. They've been doing it for years in their country, and they come over here and set them up over here and get people to join up with the gangs, and they don't have any problem getting them to join in. Well, my wife did do a lot of walking in that area. You think that street gang may be responsible? You know, I don't think the Oriental mob was involved in this disappearance case.
Oh, Mr. Meadows, I've
Spec Williams, come on in.
Well, you're on the back side of the cabin today. Nice view of the lake.
Yes, sir, sure is. We go fishing right down there. That's the spot right down there over there. That's it. So, Inspector, what are the chances are of catching my wife's killer?
There's a chance.
Well, there's a chance.
Well, what I'm saying is, if the killer's in town, I just feel that through questioning, he's going to give himself away, but if he's out of town, I don't know. I don't know.
Any major suspects right now?
Well, it's just like there's a number of people who could be a suspect, but it's too many of them with the same stories, you know. It's just going to take more work on my part.
Okay. All right.
Well, I just want to come out and, you know, see if there's anything new on your part.
I'm here. Okay, you know where to find me.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, sir.
What you got to say for today?
Well, you know, today is a beautiful day down here at Charlie's Barn, and we're going to have another Milo Holt Western film show, and gunfights, and singing, and good food to eat, and it's really got a little bit of a breeze out here today. We're going to have a great time.
Well, it's been good talking with you, James, and I'm really looking forward to the show.
I am too, and it's always a pleasure to see you, Ron, and have a good day.
I don't know much to say. I'm just a dumb old country boy. One of Rooster's friends here, Milo Holtz.
Well, it's good.
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. And I want to interview the man over the Black Rose Pistolero. So, you know, he's, you know, putting on these Western shows, and, well, you know, it's a lot of people are saying that the Western shows are violent. They're bad for younger generation, yet I feel that's part of our American heritage, and I feel that the story needs to be told. What do you think?
Well, violence is a man has the right to defend his country and to defend his family, and if he doesn't stand up for what he believes in, he's going to fall for anything, like a famous country singer said. You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. But You got to defend your country, your family, your home. We have the right to bear arms. We have the right to be responsible with them too, but there's always going to be a handful out of a population of this size country where there's going to be some nutcases and some bad apples, and all you got to do is take out the pocket knife, cut out the worm, and go on.
Well, Donnie, it's really been great talking with you. I know you go by the name of Rooster. I feel you patterned that name after the American hero, John Wayne.
Yeah.
I just feel that John Wayne is a symbol of American patriotism just as much so as the American flag.
He was a great American actor and a very good American. He was very patriotic. And he's, Roy Rogers had his time and will always be revered and loved, and so will Gene Autry, but John Wayne outlasted them all. He was from the 30s all the way into the 70s till his death, and even 20 years after his death, his movies are still highly rated and highly loved, and the sales on John Wayne movies are still big. And there's a lot of living actors who would like to have, you know, the saleability of John Wayne. He's been deceased since '79, and he still sells big. Hey,
where's real big?
The other Black Rose sister, Laura.
Lindsay Shoemate, he's one of the top stunt men in Western shows and movies. And what do you think about the Western shootout today? Do you think it's a good or bad influence on the younger generation?
I think it's going to be great the way we do it. It'll be good. Bad guy always loses.
Rango Kid played by Jerry Seals. He's participated in gunfights, and he's a professional actor and stuntman. It's good to see you at the Milo show, Jerry. What do you think about some of the complaints we're getting about the gunfights being a bad influence on the younger generation? I'd like to hear from you.
Well, Charles Sterrett was my role model, and you can tell by my outfit, you know, that I do Charles Sterrett, which is the Durango Kid.
Yes.
And along with Jock Mahoney, you know, his double, stunt double. And Charles Sterrett's my role model, so I didn't turn out so bad. I used to go see him when I was a kid, you know.
Okay, Mr. Cross, what have you got to say today?
Well, I'd like to add what Jerry said a while ago about these things. These Western movies and the guy that we portray this day and time set an example for us to be good, because we portrayed the good guys like they did back in the early days, and they set an example for us because that we want to be the good guys. But we know it takes the bad guys to make the good guys. But we had a good pattern to go by. That's why we try to live the life we do today, this day and time. We try to set an example for the kids to go straight.
This is a professional actor and stunt man. He's out to participate in our Western show today. And what have you got to say, Sammy?
Well, I'm just happy everybody's here. It's good seeing you, Ron, here at Milo Holt's Old-Time Western Film Club in Silver City. It's always a thrill to see everybody and watch the old Western movies of yesterday. The best things that even made in Hollywood.
And I see you got a friend with you. And,
yes, this happens to be my grandson right here, John Randall Durham. We call him Randy.
It's nice to meet you, Randy.
Hopefully one of these days he's going to be one of the future guys that carries these old Western movies on and does the gunfights and the entertaining and whatever.
Well, it's really great. Y'all make a good pair.
Well, thank you very much.
And I don't believe I'll talk to this gentleman here. What is your name, sir?
I'm Dean Baker from Dallas, North Carolina. And this is the first time I've been here, but I'm a member of the Saddle Pals. I'm one of them. I know a lot of these guys here, and really love the cowboys.
Well, it's really great for you to come out today, and it's really been nice talking with you, and I hope we have a good show. At least I know we will.
I'm looking forward to it. I thank you, yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice to meet you.
I see you came out for the Western show today.
Right. I'm Larry Edwards, and my character is Bill Cody.
Well, that's one of the American heroes. It's really nice to meet you, Larry, and it seemed like you got a partner with you.
I sure have.
My name is Tammy, and my character is Jane West.
And the character, what is your character today?
The Black Whip.
The Black Whip. Well, I think you and Durango Kid's going to make a good team.
Yeah, it's really been good talking with you.
You too.
And I'm really looking forward to a great show.
Ken Eckhart's my name.
It's nice to meet you, sir, and I'm really looking forward to this Western show we're going to have, and I guess you'll be participating.
Yeah, I'll be changing into my outfit in a little while. I do the Lone Ranger.
Well, the Lone Ranger is one of the American heroes along with John Wayne, and I think that's going to be a real good influence on the young people here.
Well, we hope it is.
Give them a real good role model to look up to.
We hope it is. We hope it works out good for them. We've had a lot of positive response from the children that we meet doing this.
It's been great talking with you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Your name, sir?
T. Shore from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Well, it's really been great talking with you, and it's good to see you.
I come down here every time they have one of these westerns. I enjoy them very much. I appreciate all you people. Yeah, it's good to meet new faces, new people all the time. Good friendship, good fellowship.
Well, really, that's what makes us people like you. I mean, they're just as part of the team as the people on stage.
There you go.
I've been doing this a long time and practice safety rules. So that's a full brass blank. We'll do a soda pop can. That's a blank at close range. So children, always be aware that guns are a firearm. They use explosives. It is dangerous. Never play with guns. Never pick them up. Tell your parents if you see a gun. They are very dangerous unless you practice all the safety rules and know what you're doing. Imagine a bullet does a heck of a lot more damage. And you don't want to look in the mirror one day. Yeah, John Eric Hexham in '82 was a TV star. He was killed. He was playing with a gun. He put a cotton wadded blank. They don't use cotton wadding anymore. Put it to his temple, 44 Magnum. Came out the other side, the size of a baseball. They didn't say for several days that he was dead.
Get out here. I'm here for one reason. You're going to jail. I'll pull bullets. Is that true? Yeah, well, have a seat. That's your chair. Oh, okay. Mine, huh? Well, what do you have? You dead. That's what I'll have. What? I said I'll have you dead. That's what I'll have. What is this? What kind of a day did this turn out to be? We like breaking chairs, do we? Well, okay. Let's see if we can break a chair here. Well, no crying over spilled milk. I mean, you know. Well, anytime you're ready to get it over with. How about now? You got it, kid. That's true.
It's a sin, my darling, how I love you, when I know our love could never be. It's a sin to keep this memory of you, when silence proves that you've forgotten me. The dream I built for us has tumbled, each promise broken like my heart. It's a sin, my darling, how I love you. So much in love and yet so far apart. Hide behind this party and pretend that I found someone new. It's a sin to say that I don't miss you when people know I'm still in love with you. I hope you're happy with another who shares the love I couldn't win. Why pretend that I can live without you when deep inside I know that it's a sin?
Super. Well, you know, it's really good you keeping this Western tradition alive. It's really been an inspiration to me, and I know it's really meant a lot, and it means a lot to the younger generations. You know, they're the future of America. And what have you got to say? What do you think about it?
Well, I hope enough will come along behind me to keep it going after I'm gone. A lot of us fellows in the 70s now, and some of them even in the 80s. I hope there's enough fellows coming along to preserve it for a lot of more years after we've done hit the trail, you know.
I hope so too, but I hope you got many more years to go. You look like you're in good health, and
good Lord willing, we'll take it day by day.
Well, I guess that's the best way. Lord willing, I guess that's what He expects.
Start out today with the Lord and thank Him at the end of the day that you pull through, see.
Well, that's the way I've always done, and I don't believe He wants us to worry about that much the future. We start looking too far down the road.
I had no idea 32 years ago. Yeah, boy, thank you. 32 years ago, it'd still be going on. But,
let's say, has it been 32? I mean,
actually, I started before that, down at my house.
I knew it was up in the 30s, and it started off at your house. And
I've been at it 40 years or more.
I thought that you was going on at 40 overall.
As a group like this getting together, we've been doing this 32 years.
Well,
I started in my house and accumulated a bunch of films and things, and got me a little trailer then, put it in, and let people come in and sit around and watch it with me. And, I've been surprised that a lot of people, other than myself, were interested in Westerns. Proof here today, every town had its own Western band.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you know, the last 3 times I've been up here, you've been getting real good turnouts.
We had one time at the schoolhouse, we had over 300 people.
Well, I just want to, you know, just let you know personally, you've really been an inspiration to me. I really look forward to coming up here, and I really appreciate what you've done and what you are doing. And I think how it's going to help young people coming up. I just feel
Sure have enjoyed meeting you and everybody else down through the years. Hope we've got many more to go, like you said.
I do too. And you look in good health, and I thank you very much for this interview.
Appreciate it.
Look, I just want each and every one of you to know that I really enjoyed your show here today, and I really appreciate your views on the American hero. I thank Milo Hope, and I want to thank each and every one of you for working with me, trying to find any information on Jack Landon. Maybe in time, he might show up. I just hope that it's not foul play, but maybe in time. time might tell. Well, what have you got for me today?
Well, you should have been making more progress on this case, Inspector. I pretty much told you everything that I know to tell you. You have read the police reports.
Now, I've asked you question after question about your wife, but I've got to have everything in detail, over and over. When I question these people in the places that you've been.
Inspector Williams, this is the 5th time you've asked me what my wife-to-be was wearing. What has she got to do with this?
Well, Mr. Meadows, when you hired me as an investigator, you know that I deal with reactions. Now, reactions can actually mean the difference whether a person's telling the truth or not.
Inspector Williams, it seems like that you may be trying to implicate me also as the suspect here.
Well, I don't really know who the suspect is, but it's just give me grounds to investigate. Possibly it could be some people at the cafe. I don't know. Everything's got to match up. Descriptions have got to match up.
Seems like you're getting right back around to those people in the cafe just to give them something to talk about.
The people in the cafe have been doing a lot of talking. And what they tell me is that your wife had been seeing Jack Lannon on a regular basis. Mr. Meadows, I'm here for you.
I hired you to clear me.
Well, I just go by the evidence, and I want you to be innocent.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that, sir. I am innocent.
But, you know, the bad news, it's just not looking all that good for you right now.
Inspector, are you making me out to be the primary suspect here? Kind of sounds like that. I hired you to clear my name.
Well, I'm going to do some more investigating, and we'll see how things come out.
All right. Glad to hear that, sir.
And I hope things work out on your side.
On my side? You make it sound like I'm guilty. Like I'm the primary suspect here.
I know that Jake Lannon is still alive. I was set up by one of his karate students. I got a call from this person telling me that he had information on this case, and when I showed up, well, he tried to knock me off, but it did not work.
He might gradually just, you and him run in together somewhere. And when you do, maybe you and him can kind of talk about where he's been, and maybe you and him, he can show you where he's went to, so we'll know.
next time when he takes off.
Mr. Meadows, Mr. Meadows.
Inspector Williams.
I heard you want to see me today. What about?
Yeah, you've had more than enough time on this case, and I want my wife's killer caught, and so far you haven't come up with nothing.
Now, are you sure? I mean, are you sure you want your wife's killer caught, or did you just bring me in to fail?
If that's true, Inspector Williams, you wouldn't be able to prove anything. So far, you haven't been able to prove nothing. Inspector Williams, you seem to be making me out to be the primary suspect here.
Well, I'm just following the leads. That's what I'm doing.
I hired you to clear my name.
You know, I'm getting to believe that you hired me to fail. I think you're just wanting to look good in front of your wife to be. You want to clear yourself in front of her. I just feel that when you hired me, you didn't really expect me to solve this case.
Inspector Williams, I hired you to clear my name. I hired you to clear my name. I'm not guilty.
Well, that's what they all say. I don't want you to be guilty.
Well, glad to hear that, Inspector Williams.
But I want to get to the truth.
Yes, sir. I want you to get to the truth, too.
Well, just like I'm saying, I want to get to...
Inspector Williams, you seem to be making me out to be the primary suspect here. Inspector, you're making me out to be the primary suspect.
Well, Mr. Meadows, you are the prime suspect. Good day.
How do you feel about the update on the DNA?
The DNA brought everything up to date as far as proving a person's guilt. So it's a lot better now with the DNA. If it hadn't been for the DNA, everything was sort of standing still. But the DNA has really, it's really bettered everything. And we've got a lot of people out of prisons that wasn't guilty of what they had done, and they served 15, 20 years and get out. It's pretty great.
I brought this investigator, Inspector Williams, into this case, and he doesn't seem to be getting anywhere with this case. In fact, it looks like he's trying to make me out to be the primary suspect.
Oh, there's a lot of people being sent to prison that wasn't guilty. I think a lot of corruption in law enforcement through the years that they had the pressure from the departments ahead of them and higher up than them, and they had pressure on them to find somebody guilty. And I think that's the reason a lot of the people that were sent to prison that wasn't guilty, that's the reason they got there, is because of pressure on the department to pin it on somebody. So now that the DNA is coming into play, that pressure's not there anymore. They don't feel like they gotta get somebody that quick, because if they put somebody in there that's not guilty and they find it out later, they got all this money to pay out to these people that spent time in jail and wasn't guilty. They have to pay them off, and it goes into a lot of enforcement's budgets. So it's a big.
Well, that's real encouraging to hear, because it seems like all the evidence is starting to point toward me.
Well, how have you been along today?
Oh, doing fine, Inspector Williams. How about yourself?
Okay.
Okay, good deal. How's the case coming?
Well, it's coming along.
All right.
I mean, what I'm saying, have you and your wife to be? I heard y'all went out to the restaurant the other day.
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yeah. That's right.
What I'm saying, what type of clothes was she wearing?
Does it really matter what type of clothes she was wearing?
Well, you know what puzzles me is that, so you remember everything in detail about your wife, the way your wife was dressed, and your fiance or wife to be, you can't remember that much. You know, it's skits. I mean, you know, sometimes you remember certain parts of her clothing, and I don't know, I'm just really confused about this.
I don't see what the problem there is. I mean, you seem to be making me out to be the primary suspect here, Inspector.
Well, maybe it was just that day, you know, just that day, you know, the last time, a certain type of clothes she was wearing, or, you know, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was.
Okay.
The voters found the body of the river. I've been looking for Jack Lanning, and my knowledge is still alive, but I haven't been able to find him. Now, these remains turn out to be his body. It's going to complicate things because I have information that Jack was going with his mother's wife. If it turns out to be his remains, this case is going to get complicated.
He's an escaped mental patient from the state of New York. He's been tried and convicted for 2 murders. And who knows, he may have been involved in a dozen of them.
Doctor, what you're telling me is that the bone structure in the teeth matches the identity of Lamar Craven, not Jake Lanning. Thank you very much, Doctor. what can you tell me about these cold case files? What can you tell me about law enforcement? Good or bad? Sheriff Winslow, I got the autopsy report on Lamar Craven. And according to the report, he put up quite a struggle. He was an extremely physical and violent person, yet he ran into somebody tougher. Now, between myself, Officer Dan Bowe, and Jim Benson, we've been working the streets and we found out quite a bit. Did you know that this Jake Lannon, he goes by a number of names. His first name being Jackson. Jackson, Jake, and Jack. His second name being William. William, Bill, and Will. And that's quite a camouflage within itself. I mean, he don't change his social security, but what I'm saying, that's why it's been hard to track. I didn't know whether you knew that or not. I'm Investigator Williams, and I'm trying to clear Mr. Charles Meadows. I've tried to talk with everybody in the community that knows him, and right now this case is just, well, it's just not looking all that good. And what it is, I'm counting on you. What can you tell?
I don't think the man's all that dangerous. He ain't got the heart to kill a chicken.
Those cigarettes gonna kill you if you don't give them up.
Well, I told you I like them, and if they kill me, they just kill me. And I ain't gonna blame the cigarette companies.
Well, everybody's trying to get money out of cigarette companies nowadays.
Go ahead and light him up.
What can you tell me about penicillin chloride? I didn't have an autopsy done on her body. I didn't want to cut up and dissect it.
That was a bad thing. A lot of people was given that. And a lot of people was innocent that was given that. So the DNA has really helped out all this bad stuff that went on.
I'm thinking about having my wife's body dug up. She may have been given arsenic.
It didn't show, it won't show up. If it's given small doses for a long period of time, it won't show up. A lot of law enforcement has assumed bodies and dug them up, and they still couldn't find anything. So
this Inspector Williams seems to think that my wife was poisoned, but if arsenic doesn't show up, what's the point in digging her body up?
You know, what I wanted to ask is, you know, I've checked around and I just can't understand why that you know, your wife was wearing what you say, dress clothes, a dress and everything.
Right, right.
Yet the reports verify that she was wearing tennis shoes. I can't understand. You know, she was a woman of culture from the information that I got.
Right, right. What difference does it make what type of shoe she was wearing?
Well, I don't know. There's got to be some explanation. I have got reports that she liked walking a lot. You know?
Right. Oh, okay. All right. It was a late evening. We came in the house. I started getting myself ready for bed. All right. She was on a very strict diet. She had a very strict exercise routine as well. She had to walk so many miles per day within a 24-hour period. The reason for her wearing tennis shoes was possibly she came home, she just threw on her tennis shoes and then went out for her daily walk or evening walk.
What did I think of that? That makes sense.
Glad to hear.
Look, I got to be working the streets, and I'll get back. We get hopefully with good news.
Please go out, sir, and bring me back some more good news. Thanks, sir. Thanks. All right. Yeah. Okay.
And yes, Mr. Meadows, and what is it today?
Inspector Williams, you've had more than enough time to help clear my name in this case. You seem to be making me out to be the primary suspect here. I hired you to clear my name.
It seems that all the evidence is pointing towards you.
You're fired.
Well, you get your last check in the form of a money order. I'll be sure to mail it to you.
Wait a minute. Mr. Williams, Inspector Williams, one moment. Come on back. I'm going to write that check for you. And I'm going to give you a little extra. And in case you don't know, I do have friends down there at the sheriff's office. They are on my side on this story. Come on back. Help clear my name.
I can usually tell where a man's telling the truth or not.
Inspector Williams, you've had more than enough time on this case to clear my name. I love my wife. I did. Okay, you seem to be making me have to be the primary suspect here.
It just seems that all the evidence is pointing toward you.
Are you accusing me of murder? I love my wife.
What I'm saying might be a day, a week, possibly a month. If he's not telling the truth, his story will vary. Mr. Meadows, I've been questioning people in the cafe, and your side of the story checks out.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Inspector Williams.
But, Mr. Meadows, it's just one thing I can't understand is that, you know, when your wife was found, she was wearing dress clothes, yet tennis shoes. I can't understand that.
Why was she wearing tennis shoes? And dressed up real nice? She wasn't wearing high heels? Oh, okay, hold on. I got it. She had a very strict diet and a strict exercise routine. She had to walk so many miles a day within a 24-hour period. Obviously, when we got back home that evening, she didn't have time to change. She put on her tennis shoes and went for her 5-mile walk. That's what I'm guessing. That's probably why she was wearing tennis shoes.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. What did I think of that? A lot of times I can look into a man's eyes. Some don't seem right. I can tell. Sometimes I could be wrong, but I can usually tell when a man's telling me the truth.
Keep on a little bit shorter chain.
You have come.
Yeah, I kind of figured that you had a lot of stuff to talk to me about.
Well, what have you found out about Will?
We've kind of found out that he's out of state. That he's over towards Tennessee somewhere, that he's been gambling, had a big old gambling debt, you know.
Yeah.
That he was trying to get that off his back. But he ain't come home yet. But he said he was kind of gonna come home, but it was gonna take him a while.
Well, you know, one thing about it, we know he's still alive.
Yeah, at least we know he's still alive.
I thought maybe somebody might have killed him for sure. But,
Yeah.
you know, he was a physical person. If they'd done it physically, it'd been hard to get by without the law.
Jim, I want to personally thank you for this fine piece of detective work. Now, if you can give me an address anywhere's close, I'll be on my way to Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, look, I'll be checking with you. Jack, I feel that you're responsible for the death of Mrs. Charles Meadows. I want you to go back with him and tell what happened. Okay, Jack, we'll do it your way. We'll settle it in the ring.
On your... Come on, fella. Come on, here, Joe. Yeah, Joe, let's go.
If I didn't know any better, I think you're trying to make her out to be a suspect.
Mr. Meadows, your wife was the prime suspect. And you tried to cover it up. You knew that she was a patient at the Biloxi Middle Hospital. Maybe not when you married her, you knew it since. And you tried to cover it up to save the publication of your book. You're a writer of murder mystery, and you're afraid that it would hurt you with your publisher. what it is, when they found Lamar Craven's body in the river, the boaters found it, and it was analyzed and it was cut up by a knife. Then Jack Barlow's body showed up, cut up by a knife the same way. I done some investigating on your wife, and all three of them were patients in the Biloxi Mental Hospital at the same time. They got out. So I felt it had to be some link. Okay, let's talk at Cafe. I found that Jack Lanning had been going with your wife. Jack Lanning is responsible for the death of your wife. So what it is, they were going together and they had a conflict, and she tried that knife trick on him, and he took the knife away from her and choked her in the process. It didn't work on Jack because Jack taught self-defense. And right now, Jack's in custody right now, and he has came up with the knife. That's the only thing that'll clear it. And the knife has been analyzed, and they found the blood stains of Lamar Craven and John Barlow on it. So that clears you, Mr. Meadows. But what it is, you want to get your book published to the point that you're playing with the death penalty. I mean, what I'm saying is law enforcement was getting ready to put the cuffs on. Because even though you could remember the detail of your wife, the way she was dressed, you couldn't remember the descriptions of other people all that good. But what it is, when it was brought up that was your wife's favorite dress, and well, that took a lot of, it helped you. And when she went to meet Jack Lanning, she switched from the high heels to the women's sneakers. They got some nice women's sneakers that go with the dress.
It's a nice place out here. Come on, have a seat here, Inspector Williams. Yes, sir. Now, right over there, right there's a secret fishing hole right over there now. Come back here on Friday, we'll catch some. Right.
Well, yes. Let's go fishing.